Hey everybody, I don't know who all is going to tune in tonight, but I'm going to do a really quick video on the honey lemon gel that my family and I use when we start getting that little tickle in the back of your throat that kind of tells you something yucky is coming. Some of you know what I mean. You kind of feel like you may not be feeling so well so soon. Hold on one second. So I'll do this out. This is my first time doing a video where I'm not like complete. But anyway, so I use this honey lemon gel tonight. You guys like essential oils, but we also try to do things aside from that in a holistic way. And so I am glad you're going to join me in the kitchen tonight. So you're going to need, as far as supplies, 2 of these mason jars, and these are the 8-ounce size. I've used smaller, I've used larger. It really just is your preference on how much you or your family is going to need. I actually already made a jar, but I have a couple children right now who have the sniffles and runny nose and cough and all that good stuff. So I've decided that I'm going to make a couple more jars of this because it lasts a good couple of months in the refrigerator. The next thing that you are going to need to get is some local honey. Okay. If you can get local, choose a honey. But I really prefer local honey. There's a lot of debate over whether local is actually better than the commercial honey that you get in the store. I prefer to use local raw honey, and that's my preference. You can do your own research on that to determine if that's something that you want to do or not. The next thing you're going to need is you need about 1 small lemon per 8-ounce jar that you're doing. These lemons that I got are really big, so I'm actually going to split the 1 lemon between 2 jars. And I do have an organic lemon here because I'm going to use the whole lemon, including the peel, and I feel better personally if it's an organic lemon. So I have that. I have a little over a thumb size of fresh ginger. You can see that there, and I've peeled it. And in case there's anybody that's never seen fresh ginger before, this is what it looks like when you get it in your store. Okay, so you just want to basically break or cut off a little piece of the fresh ginger and peel the outside off. And the next thing you will need is some cinnamon and some cayenne. And I have organic cinnamon or an organic cayenne from Earth Fare that come in these little bags here that I like. Now, I don't personally measure out what I'm doing because I've been doing this for a long time for my family. But if you want to, you can have probably a ½ teaspoon measure would be good to have. And also, you're going to need a knife to cut your lemon, and you're going to need a microplane or a grater to take care of your ginger for you. You can just mince it with a knife. I find it much easier to go ahead and use that grater or microplane and get it down super small. So what is the point of this? All of these different ingredients have different properties that are not only vitamin and mineral enriched, which is great for you when you're not feeling well, and for your body overall, really anytime. But all of these ingredients also have properties which helps to boost your immune system. And some of them do have um, other properties in addition to that, but this is the main reason why we are using them. And then some of them also, like the honey, for example, has soothing properties. So really can make you feel a little bit better, I think, and really help support your body in a time when you're kind of fighting off what you know is coming. If anybody is there right now, feel free to use the chat on the right side of your screen. Say hi and let me know that you're there, whether you are joining me live or watching the replay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And as I'm going through these ingredients, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I'm preparing them, and also just some of the little things about them and why I'm choosing to use them. There are several different versions of this recipe. This is just the one that I've chosen to use and the one that works best for my family. So if you find other ones on the internet, by all means, you know, use whatever you have on hand, whatever you can get easily, and whatever works best for you, because that's what's the most important. Okay, so we are going to start by opening our jars. Okay, and I'm just popping the top off here. And the first thing I'm going to do is cut the top and the bottom off of the lemon. And I am going to slice it into thin slices and then half them. And I'll show you really quick what one of the pieces look like. Lemons have a long list of vitamins and minerals, which help support your whole body, which I think is fantastic property. I use lemons in cooking, but also I make drinks from them, and I love lemon essential oil. I like to clean with it. I love everything about lemon. So lemon is a great thing to have. Now see, I've cut it long ways. Okay. Now, if you see big seeds sitting out, you can pop those out, but it's really not a huge deal. You're not going to be eating those or anything. So you do what you need to do. And I'm sorry I'm off to the side a little bit here. It's kind of my setup in the kitchen. I hope to have it set up a little bit better the next time I do a kitchen video. So then you're going to just do maybe a little less than 1/4 inch slices like that. And since I'm doing the large lemon, I'm going to put half the lemon in each jar once I get them all sliced. If you find that you're having a hard time fitting your lemons into the jar, you can slice them again one more time to make it kind of like 1/4 piece slices like this. But I'm adding them to the jar here. Okay, so I put half that. Now see what that does? My lemons were huge. So, I mean, it's really filling up a lot of that jar. Okay, so now I'm going to slice the other side. And we're going to add that to the other jar. And you guys will have to excuse me. I'm kind of breathless today. My littlest one has been sick, and I, frankly, am just exhausted. So it's coming up on my bedtime, and I am tired. But I wanted to make sure to get this up because I hoped to do it on Sunday, but then that was the first night that she was really sick. And, you know, you do what you have to do as a mom. So anyway, so I've got both my lemon halves in my jars here. I hope you guys can see everything okay. And the next thing we're going to do is the ginger. Now, what I'm doing, and again, this is just what works best for me. I have a little glass bowl here and my microplane, and I set it on top of the bowl and I grate my ginger that way. Okay, ginger has a very, very long history of use in supporting your immune system and your respiratory system. It has been used for a very long time throughout history. I don't know about anybody else, but I love the smell of ginger. It's one of those things, though, where I've met people that absolutely hate it and other people like me that love it. But it's kind of one of those ones that, and see, I'm just grating it on here. You can see it coming out there. See how small it gets, though? I really like that because it really gets the juices out and is able to meld a little bit better once you put your honey in. So, again, ginger is one of the ones that's kind of up there with cinnamon for me, and makes me think about Thanksgiving and Christmas and grandma baking in the kitchen and that kind of thing. So I really enjoy it. So I'm just finishing grating it into the bowl here. And basically this really large thumbs, I call it thumb size, but it's actually the piece I got is bigger than my thumb because I'm using it in 2 jars. Just kind of remember to half what I'm talking about if you're only doing 1 jar, if your jar is smaller. Like I said, this isn't an exact science, so it's kind of when I appreciate recipes like this. It aren't, you know, you have to do this or have to do that. You can customize it to what fits you the best. Okay, so I've got all of that ginger pulp, if you will, into the bowl. Oh, and the smell is just, I mean, seriously, if you're having any kind of issues with your respiratory system, just come in the kitchen and cut up some ginger. It's really fantastic. So anyway, I'm kind of splitting it in half here. I've got kind of the pulp in there, and I'm putting a spoonful in each jar. Okay. And see, right now it's just kind of resting on top of that lemon. Now, here is kind of the interesting part. When I make this concoction, mine tends to be pretty spicy. I typically, for an 8-ounce jar, will use the thumb of ginger, which is really spicy for some people, so you can cut that down if it's too much. I use 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne, which again is extremely spicy for some people. And I use an entire teaspoon of cinnamon. And again, that is in the 8-ounce jar size. If you are doing this for kids, I would definitely cut that down. Mine are used to that because, like I said, this is something that I've done for a long time for them, and I, know kind of what their taste is like, what their tolerance is like. But when we get to the end, I'm going to tell you how you can use this, and you can kind of decide based on what I'm doing and based on your own family's tastes and how you want to use it, how to do this. I'm going to do 1 jar today with literally just a pinch of cayenne, okay? my littlest is more sensitive to the pepper than my other kid. I want you to see, this is like a plastic spoon, like a pinch, guys. That's what I'm putting in one of cayenne. And the other one, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more, right around a 1/4 teaspoon. Okay? So, and if you do more than one jar, please remember to label them so that we don't have one person that gets a really big surprise when they get something spicy. That's not even funny, you guys. So cayenne has helps to soothe irritants, meaning like if you have a scratchy throat or an irritating cough that's kind of hanging on, things that are irritating. The cayenne, actually, you would think because it's hot and it's spicy that it would aggravate that, but it really does not, at least not in my experience. Obviously, if you have issues with kinds of pepper and cayenne and things like that, you would want to watch that. But I just love using cayenne in this recipe. I know other people use other things. Again, this is what I use, and I love it. It can help to really break up the mucus in your system. I mean, it's just it's an excellent herb or spice to use, not herb. And so that's why I use the cayenne. Now with the cinnamon, again, I'm going to go ahead and use my whole teaspoon in the one that I put the most cayenne in. Okay, my whole teaspoon. And I'm going to use just a 1/2 a teaspoon in the one that I put the pinch of cayenne in. Now, again, cinnamon has several different properties that are immune system boosting. It's a fantastic spice. And also, that's one of the parts of the On Guard essential oil that I love so much, is cinnamon. And one of the reasons I love the way it smells is, again, it's just like the ginger. Reminds me of the holidays, and it just smells fantastic. So we've now got our lemons, our grated ginger, our cinnamon, and our cayenne pepper in the jar. Okay, now I'm going to take the honey, and I literally just pour it in until, now you have to watch a little bit because it starts kind of sinking down around the lemons. It takes a minute. So I'm pouring that in. I'm going to give it just a second because it kind of bubbles and sinks down. You can see it sinking there in the video. Okay. We're going to add a little bit more, and we're not adding it all the way up to the rim, you guys. We're just adding it to where this first thread mark is right here. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our spoon and we're going to kind of just push that lemon and ginger down. We're pushing it down into the honey to get it kind of covered up, get the juices coming out of the lemons, mash it down in there. And at this point, see how it's all mixed in? At this point, you're going to want to look and make sure that you're still up to that rim, because sometimes once you push the lemons down, you've got space again, and you just want to go ahead and add some more honey until it's right there. So this is good and mixed, okay? You're just going to put the top on, and what you can do is, if you're lousy at remembering things like I am, you can put a label or something on the top telling you the day that you made it. If all of us in the house are taking it, it doesn't last me that long, so I typically don't have to put a date. But if it's just you, just one or two people, again, there are 7 people in my household that use it, so mine does not last long. But if it's just you and you think it's going to last a little while, then go ahead and put the date on it, and after a couple of months, if there's anything left, you're probably just going to want to toss it. But it is good for a couple of months, and I can attest to that for the most part if you keep it good and cold in the fridge. Okay, so we got that done. And I'm putting it in the fridge now. And I'm going to mix up my other one in a few minutes, or should I do that while I'm talking to you now about how you can use it? So you have some options when you go to use this. When I feel a little tickle in the back of my throat and know that I may be getting a little bug coming, I will go ahead and go into the fridge, get a teaspoon, and what I do, actually it's a good time for me to show you that to you. Hold on. What I do is I just put my spoon down into the honey, and I'm kind of with the spoon pushing down those lemons and the cut up ginger and everything else in there, pushing it down and straining that honey liquid into my spoon, and I just put a teaspoon of it in my mouth and just eat it like that. I have no problems with that, but again, some people have a different spice tolerance than I do. If you do the amount of spice that I told you what I usually do with a teaspoon of cinnamon, about close to a tablespoon of ginger, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne, it is going to be spicy. I cannot stress that enough. If you are not good with spicy things, then I don't recommend doing that, or cut down your spices. Okay, you're still getting the benefits of what's in there, guys. It's not a huge deal. So that's your first option. The next option, if you don't want to just take it straight, you can put a tablespoon of the liquid into a mug of hot water, and you can drink it as a tea. That's actually how I hear that most people do it. I don't have a whole lot of time to sit and drink a nice cup of tea, because every time I come back to it, it's cold. The life of a mom right there. So it's just sometimes easier for me to just go ahead and take that teaspoon real quick. If we are already dealing with something, with problems with our immune system or our respiratory system, and we are not feeling well at all, I would do a tea or a teaspoon, whichever one you want to do, a few times a day. And again, that's completely up to you. It is a positive thing to look at the things around you for ways to help your body in a natural way. And so that is my Tuesday tip for you today. Look at the different things around you. Spices. I would encourage you one day to check out the spices in your kitchen, and some of the other things you have in the house, such as apple cider vinegar. I'm giving you some good hints right now. Your local honey. there's some different things around your kitchen that can be very useful for holistic or whole body wellness. And I definitely think that it is a positive thing when we educate ourselves and look at these things in our household and know that we can use them to our benefit instead of always having to run to ask for help or you know, when things get out of control. It's nice to be able to make yourself feel better with a little cup of tea, and you'll be feeling better in no time. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video today. I'm a little like I said, tired. I've been dealing with a sick baby for a couple of days, and it's just one of those things. I'm about ready for bed. But I thank you for being with me tonight, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hopefully will bring you some more soon of different tips, and hopefully we'll have my camera in an even better place for the next video so that I'm not looking into the video this way. But if you're on with me live tonight, I thank you so much for watching. And if you're watching the replay, thank you as well. Leave me a comment. Please subscribe to my channel, and hopefully it'll continue to grow and be something that you guys can come to for community and just being determined to live your best life. So join me next time, and thank you. You guys have a great night. Love you. Bye.